is that people who drive a car, they report, a lot of them, softer handling. Is that the same with you?
Yes, absolutely.
What we see, pardon?
I said I will report the same thing as well. Yes, it does drive differently.
It looks like you're moving on the air type thing, cushion. It's not so attached to the earth. Am I correct?
You are totally correct.
Okay.
Also, my wife's car seemed to have a problem with the CV joint in the back, the UV joint in the back, and it does not seem to have that problem.
Yeah, okay. Let us explain to you what happens. First of all, most of your system gets nano-coated. So what in fact you have created, now because it's 2 or 3 of you, now we can release the information. It's been sitting with us for a while, is that you create a maglev structure. Your maglev structure reacts against Earth gravitational magnetic field inertia, not gravitational field. And in that respect, because your car is made of the matter state and you have nano-coated it, now you find the car does not actually fly, but it becomes positioned slightly different on the platform in contact with Earth. So in a way, let's say if this is the Earth and you have a wheel which will be like this in a normal car, you will be more like this if you understand the difference. The point of friction changes. The car is not hovering. Make it very clear. The car, due to gravitational magnetic field which you have created, to you, you connect one of the connections to the Earth. That's what you said. You connect one of the connections of the battery to the Earth, to the body. So
yes.
What in fact what you're doing, you have already nano-coated the whole body, the same as you've done in the house. And this condition creates its own gravitational magnetic field, and because it's made of the elements of the Earth, which is the plastics and the metals or whatever, it finds its gravitational field position in respect to the inertia of the planet. So you will drive a slightly better. The more you drive, the more you thicken your nano coating, the easier drive it becomes. We assume in the long run you will be just shifting off the ground, but not enough to be totally detached.
Yeah,
you are not the first. Yes, that's why your steering feels easier. Because there is no pressure. Because when you're on the ground and you have the steering to turn, it feels, you know, you have to turn it. Yeah? So we were going to announce this before when we launched the maglev system for the cars, but we left it till people reported. We know about this a long time ago. So we can disclose the knowledge. When you use, you find a lot of knick-knack problems with the steering and things just disappears. Because everything is nano-coated and the performance of the friction disappears. Nano-coat material, your engine will nano-coat, your piston will nano-coat, your wheels, bearings, everything nano-coats. Because you connect one line to the Earth, to the body of the car. So it has to go through the body. It has no choice. And in nano-coats, the rust becomes impossible, more or less. And we have reports from the people who have a scratch on their car, the scratches more or less disappear. In a way, it doesn't disappear. The coating allows the deformation of the paint underneath, and they come together. It will not sort your bump on the car if you have a dent on it, but anything to do with the paintwork, with the steel, it repairs itself. Nano coating will come, and then it creates a gravitational magnetic field which allows the metal to seal, because now you have a nano coating surface. If you have a black car, all your scratches disappear. So for the first time we disclose this, because now when you speak to it, that's why I can walk you into it for your confirmation, because we already know the information. So now it's time to disclose. Those of you who use MagLab system for the car, especially the ones which supply to the Keshe Foundation from the source, you will see the reduction, but you will see a totally different performance in the car too. The ones you make yourself, you have to make sure follows the same kind of procedure as is on the blueprint. The reduction in the fuel is so much, what we assume is due to the lack of friction. Because you create gravitational magnetic position on a, what I call inertial level, and your point of friction is less, you use less fuel. It's a double-sided work. Here you carry, let's say, 200 kilogram. Here you carry 150 kilogram. Here you carry, let's say, 100 kilogram. So in fact you have the same weight, but because the point of friction with Earth is less, you get the reduction in the. This is the first gravitational magnetic hovering system which now we were stopped by the Belgian government to show in Hanover. You slowly, you lot will report it. You are getting there. When these systems run for a few months, you will start reporting this to us. And you are the first ones coming out. The first, what we call flying machine, today has been unveiled. But we know about it a long time ago. So if you carry on using it, then the nano coating becomes totally around the car. In fact, you still carry 200 kilo. In fact, everything looks the same. But because of the MagLab positioning in a nano coating, your car point of contact with the ground become less, and because it's less, you use less fuel. Partially. Yes, exactly. Of course.
Is it still advisable to possibly hook it to your starter motor? I was going to do one of each.
Well, as long as the battery is connected. As I said, we disclose when it comes. I discussed this with Alex in July when he was with us, July, August. We are aware of this for a long time. But we do not make any claims. Now that you put it out, we explain exactly scientifically what happens. When you use these systems, especially for a long time, that's why I want you to hand over your car to Peugeot, and hopefully we work through Peugeot France through the newest agreements with Iran, Peugeot Iran, is that we will bring in this out into open. You brought it, and now we explain it. I was waiting for this for a few weeks. Somebody will report this, and we can enlighten you. So you see the first hovering car. You're reaching that point. The more you use it, it comes to a point. We done a research with, not research, we did some work with Ghent University. The professor was supposed to become the head of the car division of the Keshe Foundation, taking over the Antwerp plant. We discussed the minimum weight is 200 kilogram, that you are safe, that the crosswind does not take hold of. When we saw this, this was part of the structure we were going to show in Hanover when the King of Belgium ordered for everything to be confiscated to embarrass the foundation. Now you are putting it on. Shame on the kingdom. Now you see it. Took 5 years later, but it's on the table. That's why you feel easier steering. Nothing has changed. It's just that the more you drive your car, the more you nano coat. The nano coat is not gravitational because it's a mass of the body is inertia. Your system are not made to fly you. But because the nano coating is such a huge mass of it, your nano coating, now it has to show a reaction in respect to the Earth inertia. And that's why it keeps a distance. That's why you say we had a knock in the back of the car, it doesn't come. You nano coat everything, now everything is nude. New surface, new colors, you see everything else. The car unit delivered by Keshe Car Nation will deliver the fuel reduction, but on these bases. Composite energy replacing part of the fuel, and composite in another way by, in a way, reducing the weight. Welcome to the world of space technology. All of you, you are now all becoming astronauts, but in your own cars. You all become what we call the motions, man-made gravitational system. Your cars, when you are inside it, is the same as being inside the spaceship. Because now you are part of the structure of it. A lot of you will see, the more you use your car, a lot of pains and aches in your body just disappears. You'll find you sit in your car and you had a problem and the problem is not there. As Jackie said, you put the right combination in a cigarette lighter, it becomes part of it. You become like the Japanese scientist, the Chinese scientist, happy people. What happens is that you become part of the atmosphere of the system while you're driving. It's not that the body of the car nano-coated. Now you are in a tube of fields, which if you made your gans of your thing in a CO2, you live and exist within the structure of your car, which is in the same condition as you. A lot of diseases will disappear while you're sitting in the car. You go in with the pain, you come out without the pain. But this takes time. The cars will start reaching, it cannot, the last bits which is not allowing you to take over is because the gravitational field will hold. But because of the composite structure of the planet Earth, it has a gravitational and magnetical plus inertia. Inertia is the attribute gravitational magnetic field of the state of the solid matter. That's why Earth is a composite plasma, composite gravitational sim. It has gravitational magnetical and it has inertia. Now your car interacts with the inertia of it. The reason we should not fly, the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth still has a say, and that's 150 to 100 kilo out of the 200 kilo which you receive. What will be interesting, when you're in Peugeot, please ask them to weigh your car. When we will organize, I'll speak to our people that when you get to Peugeot, they know exactly how to test things we want to test. And then we ask Peugeot to make it play with us public. We bring the chief scientist of research for the Peugeot car to go on it. And if they don't want to do it, we do it with Volkswagen, or we send your car to Tehran, to the office of His Excellency President of Iran, to ask the Peugeot Iran to test it for you. We have a lot of connections and we have a lot of good friends. Now you come, we'll bring it public.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Maybe you get a new car. We've got to speak to Peugeot to see what if they can give you one.
Oh, you know, it's it's difficult to to give this car. Huh? It's my gift.
No problem. No problem. We'll see what we can do. You get it back. I'll make sure that Peugeot gets it back to you.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do with it as part of the research.
But yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing knowledge and your time with us. The process is very, very effective.
On that as well, we have a lot of helps in.
Pardon? Hello?
I think it was just an interfering microphone there.
Okay, no problem. So today we learned something more and we get enlightened in a different way. So what you've seen, the car units have this ability, but don't get, we always say, understand the science, not just because it does. The science, Yes?
Yes. I wanted to add to the knowledge. It helps a lot in the snow, too. We have a lot of snow here. And rather than getting stuck, I have a two-wheel drive truck, and it hasn't gotten stuck once this year. And when we do have problems, we try to intend you know, when there's a lot of snow, we try to intend what we want to do more, and it seems to help.
Can you enlighten us? We don't know what you're talking about.
Well, a lot of times in the deep snow, vehicles will get stuck, and it seems if we intend to continue on a straightforward line, then that's what happens. We don't get stuck in the snow any longer.
Why? Because using the maglev systems.
Yes, that's what it seems like.
Where are you and who are you?
Robert Stubblefield in Utah.
Ah, okay. So you have a maglev system?
Yes, we have maglev systems in both of our vehicles, and it seems to really help. It does.
Have you seen any reduction in your fuel?
Yes, earlier I said about 15%, which is just what we can, what I can prove, because in the wintertime we start our vehicles and let them run for a few minutes before we drive them, and that's not taken into account, so it could very well be 25%, who knows. Previously, I'll give you the numbers. Previously, we were getting 320 to 360 miles per tank on my wife's vehicle, and now we're getting up right around 400. Even with all the factors counted in.
That's nice. But you feel the difference in drive?
That's the biggest thing, yes. That's it seems to be, it seems to affect your focus while driving, and it's almost like an interactive system. I can't wait to put some Gantz water in the tank as well. I think that'll be a great reaction, interacting the two Gantzes together, and then we would be the third interaction in that equation. And so I can't wait to do that. Thanks, Jackie, for bringing that up.
Thank you indeed. Yes, this is the hovering condition, which we know about it, and now you understand scientifically what it does. And we know that because I remember Alex sitting next to me, talking to me the first time he came, if you remember, in what do you call it, in Trani. And he was telling me, it really does. It's such an old car, but it feels like new. It doesn't clink and clank, and it just drives it. And I explained to him this is what's happening. But now that a number of you are reporting, especially with the snow, so we can disclose it. Now you understand what has happened. The reduction is because of the nano coating of your machine, the car, nothing else. The inside the car, it'll be interesting if those of you who have used the system to report back to us if you had pains and other things and you see it going, and if it's been reduced. And these all counts. If you come into the car tired from work and by the time you get home you're all fresh, means you're taking from the energy from the environment of your car. These are the things which we need to add as testimonials, and then it gives us a direction to go.
Mr. Keshe, this is Vivek from Singapore. Related question. We receive a lot of these questions in tech support. What is the correct connection for a fully electric car?
A lot of electric cars have inverters on it. This is something which we are even looked at. You have an AC-DC inverter, and your plasma system is already DC. You'll see it is not working. You have to connect it beyond the inverter. You understand?
The inverter is at where the motor is, isn't it?
Pardon?
The inverter is actually at where the motor is, isn't it? That drives the wheels.
You have to put it, I don't know, because different system. I tell you this because I was explained to me by a car electrician. Because we have, those of you who are in Trani and the rest, you know, we have 6-7 cars sitting outside. And we're trying to use it, and we use it and don't see anything. And he said, this is your problem. So one of these cars soon is going to the garage to be connected with the inverter out. So then we can tell you. But as far as I know, what I've been explained to by the people who understand the car electrical work, is the inverter which blocks you. You have to connect it beyond the inverter. So I'm sure if when he was here, he would have explained to us. But if any other car mechanics can explain to us, it'll be nice.
So are we connecting it to the DC side or the AC side of the inverter? The before
DC
the inverter?
DC side, because the plasma is DC.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm putting one in a electric vehicle very soon, and that will be great. Thank you.
Can you video it for us and explain to us that we can show it? This question has come up quite a few times, and I am not a mechanic in that direction, so I rely on the people who understand and enlighten us.
Yes, of course. I will do that, and yeah, anything you need, bud.
Thank you very much indeed.